that was awful. There's 20 chairs right now, and there are leaves of different realities all around me. I can look into the future, and the prison's right here in each of those. It goes on out to many years from now. It goes infinity upwards. And it's a tremendous amount of power right through this.
Throughout history, humanity has buried its rulers with unimaginable treasures and elaborate protections. Some tombs remain sealed not because we cannot open them, but because we should not. Deadly mercury rivers, ancient curses, and fragile archaeological treasures keep scientists at bay. Others are lost completely, hidden by design centuries ago. Today, we explore tombs that remain forbidden, whether by danger, mystery, or respect for the dead.
In the province of mind, what one believes to be true either is true or becomes true within certain limits. These limits are to be found experimentally and experientially. When so found, these limits turn out to be full.
In 1974, Chinese farmers discovered one of history's greatest archaeological finds near Xi'an. The terracotta army consists of over 7,000 life-size clay soldiers guarding the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, China's first emperor who died in 210 BCE. The tomb itself, located beneath a 76-meter-tall mound, has never been opened. Ancient historian Sima Qian wrote about its construction 100 years after the emperor's death. He described rivers of flowing mercury representing the Yangtze and Yellow rivers, along with mechanical crossbows designed to kill intruders. Scientists tested the soil around the tomb in the 1980s. They found mercury concentrations up to 1,440 parts per billion, significantly higher than normal background levels of 5 to 10 parts per billion. Recent studies in 2016 confirm mercury levels reaching 27 nanograms per cubic meter. The tomb likely contains vast quantities of liquid mercury that would vaporize if exposed to air, creating deadly toxic fumes. Without technology to safely extract and preserve artifacts, Chinese authorities refused to excavate the main burial chamber.
So Carter gets up on November 4th, 1922, and he drives out to the Valley of the Kings to the expedition. Nobody's working. And that meant one of two things. Either somebody had been killed, maybe by a cobra.
When Howard Carter discovered King Tutankhamun's tomb in November 1922, it created worldwide sensation. The tomb in Egypt's Valley of the Kings was nearly intact after over 3,000 years. Shortly after opening the burial chamber in February 1923, Lord Carnarvon, who financed the expedition, died from blood poisoning caused by an infected mosquito bite. This sparked rumors of an ancient curse. No actual curse was ever found inscribed in the tomb. Egyptologist Donald Redford called curse evidence nothing but unadulterated nonsense. However, media sensationalized several deaths among people connected to the discovery. A 2002 study in the British Medical Journal examined 44 Westerners present at the tomb opening. Researchers found no significant association between tomb exposure and early death. Carter himself lived until 1939, 16 years after opening the tomb. Most team members lived into their 70s, actually beating life expectancy for their time period and social class. The curse was media invention, not historical fact.
Good morning.
You've probably devoted your whole life, and certainly many decades recently, to pushing to see, what really were the limits.
Right.
Going into new realities, taking on the belief systems of those realities, and then...
When Genghis Khan died in 1227, he left explicit instructions that nobody should ever find his tomb. The location of his burial site remains one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. According to legend, 1,000 soldiers transported his body to a secret location, then were killed to protect the secret. Those who killed the soldiers were also executed. Thousands of horses allegedly trampled the burial ground to erase all traces. Marco Polo wrote in the 13th century that even Kublai Khan, Genghis's grandson, did not know the tomb's location. Most historians believe the tomb lies near Burkhan Khaldun, a sacred mountain in northeastern Mongolia, where young Genghis once hid from enemies. The area became known as Ik-Korig, meaning the Great Forbidden Area. For 800 years, it remained protected and off-limits. Modern technology, including satellite imagery and ground-penetrating radar, has identified potential sites, but the Mongolian government protects the region. Most Mongolians prefer the tomb stay hidden, respecting their founders' wishes and viewing it as sacred ground. Beyond curses and legends, legitimate scientific reasons prevent opening many ancient tombs. Archaeological excavation is inherently destructive. Once exposed to modern air, organic materials like textiles, wood, and painted surfaces can deteriorate rapidly. The famous terracotta warriors were originally painted in brilliant colors, but the paint flaked off within minutes of exposure to air during excavation in 1974. Modern archaeologists prioritize preservation over discovery. Technology constantly improves, allowing future scientists to extract more information with less damage. Ground-penetrating radar, thermal imaging, and advanced scanning techniques can now reveal tomb contents without physical intrusion. The tomb of Qin Shi Huang demonstrates this patient approach. Chinese authorities openly state they lack mature technologies and effective measures to protect relics inside. Opening it now would destroy priceless artifacts and information. Waiting preserves options for future generations with better technology. Conservation always trumps curiosity in responsible archaeology. Every excavation destroys context, so scientists excavate only when absolutely necessary or when sites face imminent destruction from construction or looting. Some researchers theorized that sealed tombs might contain dangerous biological agents. Ancient tombs house not only human remains, but food provisions for the afterlife. Lab studies show some mummies carried mold species including Aspergillus niger and Aspergillus flavus, which can cause lung problems. Bacteria like Pseudomonas and Staphylococcus may grow on tomb walls over thousands of years. However, scientists largely dismiss these concerns. No archaeologist or tourist has ever experienced serious illness from tomb toxins. Lord Carnarvon had chronic health problems before entering Tutankhamun's tomb, making him vulnerable to any infection. Experts stated that sanitary conditions inside sealed tombs were actually better than outside in early 20th century Egypt. The British Medical Journal concluded that toxic fungi likely did not contribute to Carnarvon's death. Modern excavations follow proper safety protocols, including air quality testing and protective equipment. While theoretical risks exist, real-world evidence shows ancient tombs pose minimal biological danger to excavators following standard archaeological safety procedures. Modern archaeology increasingly recognizes that some tombs should remain closed out of respect. The Mongolian people overwhelmingly opposed disturbing Genghis Khan's remains. He reportedly said, "Let my body die, but let my nation live," instructing people to focus on the nation's welfare rather than his physical remains. Many Mongolians view his tomb with almost religious reverence. Contemporary archaeological ethics require working with and respecting descendant communities. If living populations prefer their ancestors undisturbed, archaeologists honor those wishes. This represents a major shift from 19th and early 20th century practices when excavators showed little concern for cultural sensitivities. The Valley of the Khans project in Mongolia uses only non-invasive digital imaging and aerial photography specifically to respect local beliefs. Chinese authorities similarly balance scientific interest against cultural significance when deciding whether to excavate historical sites. Ancient tombs belong not just to global heritage but to specific cultural communities who maintain spiritual connections to their ancestors. Scientific curiosity must sometimes yield to cultural respect and preservation ethics. Technology continues advancing how we explore ancient tombs without opening them. Muon tomography, which uses cosmic ray particles, can create three-dimensional images of sealed spaces. Scientists successfully use this technique to discover hidden chambers in Egyptian pyramids. Ground-penetrating radar reveals underground structures in incredible detail. Drones equipped with thermal imaging and LIDAR scan vast areas quickly and accurately. These non-invasive methods let researchers study tombs while leaving them physically untouched. Future technology may allow even more detailed analysis. Advanced chemical sensors could detect and analyze gases seeping from sealed chambers, revealing information about contents without entry. Robotic systems might eventually navigate tomb passages too dangerous for humans. The tomb of Qin Shi Huang will likely remain sealed for decades or centuries until technology advances sufficiently. This patience protects irreplaceable artifacts while ensuring future discoveries benefit from the best possible preservation techniques. Sometimes the greatest archaeological achievement is knowing when not to dig. Forbidden tombs remind us that not all mysteries require immediate answers. Scientific advancement, cultural respect, and artifact preservation sometimes demand patience. The Mercury rivers of Qin Shi Huang, the hidden grave of Genghis Khan, and countless other sealed tombs will keep their secrets until humanity develops both the technology and wisdom to reveal them properly. Perhaps some should never be opened at all. The dead deserve rest, and future generations deserve the chance to study history with better tools than we possess today.